Welcome to the Stronger Than Your Boyfriend podcast, a podcast for anyone into fitness.
Especially for all you early birds, night owls, and everyone in between.
We are Heather and Katie, owners of Barpath Fitness, here to help you sift through the bullshit and toxic misinformation that permeates the fitness industry. Today, we are talking about morning versus evening workouts.
Yeah.
Which one is better? Which one is worse?
True.
Yeah.
I feel like people, I don't know. I feel like obviously people know like when you work out, that's fine. Just do it.
Yeah.
But I still think people are always looking to get a slight edge. Like, well, if I work out in the morning, I'm going to burn more body fat. Or if I work out at night, I'm going to be stronger or et cetera, et cetera. So there's not really much science to this, although we're going to touch on that a little bit. But there might be some science.
I would say there is like science, but the problem is the science doesn't really give us.
Yeah.
Because I think anytime you ask what's best, you have to ask two additional things. Yeah, it depends is the answer, because the two additional things are for what goal and for whom.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I was talking to one of my clients, Jessica, the other day in our session, and I was like, well, I feel like my answer to everything is it depends. You know, it's just
everyone loves to hear that.
Yeah, it's just like, well, that's not what I want to hear. And it's like, well, that's what I'm going to tell you.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. It does depend. It depends on, well, there are chronotypes. Chronotypes are a thing. Depends on, are you a morning person? Are you legitimately a morning person? And I think, going to school when you're a kid, going to work when you're older, and generally days look like 9 to 5, right? Like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you are not a morning person, you might be really tired all day and you might not be able to work out until like 7 p.m. But maybe you're a morning person, you work out at 5 a.m. It depends. Depends on the person. So we're going to talk more like pros and cons of each.
Yes.
And then you can maybe figure out what you like to do or what you think is best for you. But if you're forcing yourself to work out in the mornings, yet you absolutely hate it, and you're so tired and it's the worst thing ever, maybe this will change your mind and maybe you should wait until later.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
So, yeah. But I think, and on the other end, maybe you heard that you're stronger at night. So you're just like white knuckling it all day and then white knuckling it through the workout when you really just wanted to do it at 6 a.m. That's not good either.
Right.
So doesn't matter if you're stronger.
Or if you're like me and you have to do it in the middle of the day because neither morning or night work for you.
Yeah. You know what's weird is that is the thing for most fitness professionals, I think. And I think a lot of that
makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think a lot of that is because of the schedule.
Yeah.
So personal training schedule, if you have a full in-person schedule, you're doing split shifts. So you kind of have to work out in the middle of the day. So, you're working like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then you have a big break. And then you come back from, 4 or 5 p.m. to 8 or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
The worst.
Why have I never thought of this as potentially the reason that I have to work out in the middle of the day? Because of my entire career was in fitness.
Yes.
Wow. You just blew my mind.
Yeah. I mean, that is the thing. I talked to a lot of other personal trainers, and when do they work out? They work out at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. or noon. And I do think though, because I train in person a lot of retired people, and it seems the sweet spot is like 10 or 11 a.m. So I think that might just be the thing when you have nothing to do. That might be the ideal time for everyone.
Yeah.
Because you can wake up when you want.
Take your time.
Drink some
Enjoy your
coffee,
morning.
sit outside, like enjoy your morning, and then go work out.
Yeah.
And then you can enjoy the rest of your day. But
Yeah.
it is a thing for fitness professionals.
Yeah.
Middle of the day.
So you either need to be a fitness professional or a retired person, and then you'll be happy.
Yeah.
And then your life is complete.
Then you can have the schedule that you want.
That's the podcast. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go into the pros and cons. So let's start with AM workouts. Morning go-getters. Early bird gets the worm, right? Depends. So pros, what are the pros of workout or early AM workouts? I think for me, I like to do early morning workouts.
Yes, you are this person.
I am this person. I am that annoying person that wakes up early. Maybe I drink coffee, maybe I don't, depending on my schedule, and I just go get it done. And everyone is annoyed with me for that. And I get it.
Because you're hella consistent.
Very consistent. Very, very consistent.
Very consistent.
Never miss.
Never.
The thing.
Like, I don't think people understand when we say never. Katie never misses.
You guys, I used to be bullied for being a fat kid, so I never miss. It's constantly ingrained in my brain. So, but anyways, that's besides the point. So I don't know why. That's just my whole family. They're all morning people.
They are.
They're loud Italians who wake up early at 6 a.m. and it sounds like we're all screaming at each other, but we're not.
Can vouch for this.
Yes, we
It
just have
does.
to turn my microphone down because I am loud. So there's that. I am loud. I am a small person, short but loud. But anyways, I think going back to this, it builds consistency, I think, more so because there's no distractions in the morning.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have work starting at 6 a.m. unless you're a personal trainer. But obviously, we just told you that the best time for you to work out is the middle of the day.
Mhm.
But if you have a regular 9 to 5 job, your boss isn't calling you at 6 a.m. So you can always make it to that morning workout.
Mhm.
And I, even at this gym that we're currently at, but big box gyms, I remember working at the big box gym in Chicago, and you see the same people every single morning. Like, those are the most consistent people are the morning worker-outers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not to say that there's not consistent people at night, but you see it more of an influx of people because that's when people generally like to work out. And I think the biggest thing for me and why I personally work out in the morning, one of the main reasons is, besides the fact that I am a morning person, I do love the mornings, it's the energy and focus I have for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm not, that is my main goal for working out now in my in my 30s. It's not how I look, it's how I feel. So I think that is a big part of why I do it. And that is a big part of why people, even if they're kind of white knuckling it through and they're tired, I think they just really like, myself included, that feeling throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Focused, you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about getting it in later. You don't have to think, okay, well, I got to eat this meal and I got to eat this meal, so I have enough of a break in between meals to go in my workout so my stomach isn't full, but I'm fueled enough, et cetera, et cetera. Which that could be positive for someone else. But for me, that's just too much because this is another reason. And this is another reason why I think people are morning worker-outers is people don't like to have food in their stomach when they work out, or they don't like to have a full belly.
Yeah.
Which you can have enough space in between meals to where you're not feeling super full. But I like to be just completely empty and like fasting and like nothing in me. I don't know. I feel kind of bogged down by if I have food or anything. I mean, that's not to say if I had a very small snack, I probably would perform better and I wouldn't notice it.
Right.
But I think that, I don't know, it's just anyone I talk to, even like the evening workouters, they're like, they need a little break in between their food and their workout.
Yeah.
And then, as far as working out in the morning, you get a reward of a nice big breakfast after because you don't eat anything before. So
True.
There's also that. What I want to, before we move on from this, remember the fasted cardio trend and craze?
Didn't we do an episode on this?
I think we did. We did an episode on cardio.
We did an episode on intermittent fasting.
Yes, we did. We probably talked about
And I think we talked about fasted
fasted cardio.
Yep.
That, I don't know why it just because your body burns more fat for fuel when you haven't eaten anything.
AKA glycogen stores to pull from,
That doesn't mean you're burning body fat.
Right.
Burning fat for fuel does not mean you're burning body fat. I'm going to say that again. Burning fat for fuel does not mean you're burning body fat. You can, yes. So I think people do it because it makes them feel good and it starts their day. Like the fasted cardio, why people are so consistent with it. I think it's just what we've been talking about.
For me, it feels like shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go into my preferences, but it's not morning.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine doing cardio, but I also can't imagine doing waking up and go running. Like, I can push myself to go through, a strength workout, like do that. I don't know why that's different because most people, I think, if they work out without eating and it's first thing in the morning, they just don't feel strong. I feel fine. My strength is fine. But doing cardio, I would want to gouge my eyeballs out because first thing in the morning, I don't know. I could not do it.
I feel like for some reason, that's the thing I could do in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I could get up and bike or swim, or do
Yeah.
yoga or something, which is
Me-
cardio.
yeah.
But like, I don't know, just because maybe it's because I don't really have performance goals around that though.
That's true.
And so it's one of the things that if I do perform cardio fasted, like it's gonna suck, but cardio sucks anyway.
Yeah.
So like I'd be okay. Whereas my strength workout, I am so picky about how fueled I am for those.
Yeah. And
So,
that's fair.
yeah.
As you should be, as most
Yeah.
people should be. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. If I were an endurance athlete, I would probably still work out in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Than doing more cardio workouts. But maybe I just don't like doing cardio workouts.
I
Maybe
think
that's
they're
what
just
we're getting
complaining
at.
about cardio.
Yeah. I don't like biking. I don't like really running unless like I could do a trail run, but that really only
You not swim anymore?
No, I don't swim.
So I
don't have a
was
membership and like a basic
I
thing. It takes so much
Yeah.
time.
I got a membership. Yeah, the bathing suit. I got a membership at the little rec center down the street.
Yeah.
It's like $20 a month just for the pool.
Yeah.
But then I started getting monthly tattoos. And so now I can't really swim.
Yeah, so you gotta just wasting money because you can't really swim.
Well, I still go to the rec center though, because I've actually really I
Rec
really like
center's
it.
cool.
I like changing up my gyms.
Yeah.
I like to have like 5 under my belt.
Yeah.
Times.
Yeah. Going back to the morning workout, I think that this is more of like, there's a little bit more research on this, but when you work out in the morning, it helps align your circadian rhythm.
Yes.
Because when you wake up
Mhm.
and, the sun's rising and your cortisol should be at its peak in the morning. So if you are working out kind of in tandem with that, that helps align your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
And you'll probably notice that. I mean, working out helps you sleep better in general, I think, but you'll probably notice that when the sun's starting to go down, you're going to feel a little bit more tired because you've got your body's hormones plus the, aligning with the sun. I think that will really help set your circadian rhythm up so that you might have more consistent sleep.
Yeah, and there are various studies that show like, positive results with working out in the morning and correlations and such. You have to take some of them with a grain of salt because it's really hard to control for all the variables when you're looking at this.
Yeah.
But there's one study that showed that people who worked out between 7 and 9 a.m. had a lower risk for obesity.
Yeah.
There's also been studies that show obviously people are more consistent with morning workouts because of the morning routine thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this is one of those topics that you could cherry pick your way to saying either one is more beneficial.
Seriously.
So that's kind of why we're not going to talk about a lot of research here.
Yeah.
But moreover, just go over the pros and cons.
Yeah, and I think talking about the cons, I mean, obviously I'm more pro morning workout 'cause that's what I do, but
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people who maybe try to force themselves to do morning workouts is the stiffness and the achiness.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know that's because obviously you've been laying down for 8 hours, so you're a little bit stiffer. I've never had this issue, but I prioritize mobility work.
Yeah,
so
you're a mobility queen.
I think that's a big part of it. So do your mobility work,
Yeah.
and maybe you'll feel a little bit
Maybe you
better.
won't be stiff.
Maybe you won't be so stiff in general. So I think if you're stiff in the morning, you're probably stiff all day, but
Oh.
you're more stiff when you wake up because you don't have any of that the synovial fluid flowing.
Especially if you have an active job where you're on your feet all day, like if you're a waitress, a nurse, I don't know, anything that's like moving.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, you're going to be a little more
Yeah.
flexible,
Right.
mobile as you go on throughout the
Yeah.
day.
And that's just another note on that. If, my job is fairly active. I'm on my feet a lot. I move a lot. That's not the reason why I don't think I could do an evening workout. I would just kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't feel my strongest because I've been
You'd be tired
moving.
from
I'd be
moving all day.
tired.
Yeah.
And,
That makes sense.
but on the other hand, if you have a desk job, I would be tired too from sitting all day.
Oh, yeah. I get mentally exhausted from
Yeah.
doing marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so this just goes back to what we were saying. It depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of
Totally
person you
depends. Yep.
are. But yes, you might need more warming up in the morning to just wake everything up. But that's okay. If you're waking up early, you can wake up like 5 minutes earlier
Yeah.
to warm up. But
Yeah.
and on the other hand, for thinking about your chronotype, it's obviously going to be harder for night owls.
Yes. Can vouch for this.
Yes. You're a night owl, but you don't like to work out at night.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
You midday.
Yep.
But that's because fitness pro.
Yep.
That's what
I think
fitness
so.
pros do.
There's
It's not like
also-
you've been trained.
There's some weird theories, not weird. There's some other theories along with this. I would really like to get someone on the podcast to talk about Ayurveda, but there's like a
Oh, yeah.
whole concept with Ayurvedic practices where like there's like different these different types, and I am more of like a pita, like fire, and it says that like 10 to 2, both AM and PM, are more of like my fire time, like my active time. Which, if you think about my nighttime, like 10 to 2, like when I get flow states,
Yeah.
and then also like when I like to work out, it makes
Yeah.
sense. So I think that's kind of a fun concept, but I don't know.
kind of a fun
I'm not
concept.
well versed enough to talk about
I
it.
don't think
but
there's any like proven research, but
I mean,
I think it's cool to
it's
think
like an
about.
ancient thing.
But
Yeah.
You don't always have to have research. If there's an ancient practice that's been
Right. It's been around for a while
Been
for a
around for
reason. Yeah.
thousands of years.
Yeah. So I just think I might be one of those people that 10 to 2 is like actually, and I can vouch, like 10 to 2 is great. After 2, I'm don't exist.
Yeah.
I am useless after 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
until about a little later in the evening, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm ready to go again.
I think that's most people though.
I do too. I think a lot of people are like
People
that.
that's the time when people are always reaching for that, afternoon coffee or energy drink.
Yeah.
There's something, we should take a practice from Europe. That's when they do their siestas.
Yeah.
And they wake up probably refreshed.
I'd love me a little nap.
A little siesta.
I should start scheduling that in.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like when you work for yourself, you think, yeah, I'm gonna like make my schedule exactly what I want it to be.
You don't.
And then you don't,
Yeah.
because other people
Right.
impact your schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can have somewhat
Yeah, no, there is some control and some flexibility.
but at the same time you have to meet your clients where they're at.
Yeah.
So it's like you got either have deadlines or if I can't just be like, okay, my client's like, well, I have between this time and this time. I can't be like, that doesn't work for me. Then you don't make that money.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I get that. But yeah, I mean, it is nice to be flexible and work out middle of the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about morning workouts.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip over my preferred time to work out because we're gonna come back to
We're
that.
gonna come
Let's
back
talk about evening
Evening
workouts.
workouts.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the main argument, which we already touched on a little bit, the main argument for evening workouts being best is that you're more fueled. And we're talking about
Yeah.
strength workouts.
Mm.
I guess you can argue this for cardio endurance workouts, but obviously we're talking about strength workouts here. You're more fueled. You've had probably at least a couple meals in you and maybe a couple snacks. Also, you're just more awake because you've been up for hours.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason why people like the evening workouts and people like sleeping in. I think that's just been a thing since school. We've always liked sleeping in. But there's also a hormone rise. I think your testosterone is at its peak in late afternoon.
Okay.
So I think that might be a reason why, if you've maybe felt a little bit better this way.
Mhm.
I could work out in the evening. And maybe if I work out when I knew my testosterone was peaking or all my hormones were peaking, maybe I would feel fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to try and figure that out. But that's part of the quote research why
Yeah.
it might be quote better.
Yeah.
It's on the person.
Additionally, your like body temperature is warmer, your muscle
Yeah.
function might be better, your reaction time might be at your peak, right? You're fueled, you're warmer, things like that.
Yeah.
I know another reason people like to work out in the evenings is because, so we said like working out in the mornings can help you, get a fresh start on the day, prepare, be mentally sharp.
Yeah.
Working out at the end of the day, on the other end of the spectrum, can help you decompress
Right.
after a long work day.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like to use it for that.
Yeah. And I get that. See, this is where I can't relate because I cannot imagine. I mean, stress relief, yes. But I just, doing it at any time of the day, I think you're going to get stress relief. But I feel like if you have a really stressful job and people piss you off and your emotions are kind of all over the place, I think that's the best thing you can do versus taking it out on someone around you.
Yes.
I'm not talking about physically, but, your anger or something. Like, that's a good way to get some
Go to the gym. Don't yell at your partner. Go to the gym.
lift some fucking heavy weights. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. But, and remember at FFC or they used to have the blackout hours because of the evenings.
Yes. So I think this is a con, but some people might think this is a
I don't like
of
that.
working out in the evenings. People might want to go to a gym when it's more likely.
I was going to say, is this a pro or a con?
I think this is a con.
Yeah.
I don't like a busy gym.
No, this is why I work out in my garage because there's no one in there. And I like it that way.
Yeah.
But I think, when your friends are there
Yeah.
and you got, it's a big gay community and everyone's there and everyone's there and you want to talk to them.
I did love that. I was going to say I did love that in Chicago. We used to live in Boys Town, and it was super fun to work out. That gym isn't even open anymore, which is sad.
I know, it is
Good
sad.
location. Yeah. I will say, like, one of the things, okay, when I worked out this is I'm different than you in this way because you work out in the garage gym, you love it.
Yeah.
When I work out in the garage gym, I still get a good workout. But there's something about going to a public space where other people are there.
I know what you're saying.
I just like try a little bit harder.
Mm,
Like
I
I
know what
just
you're
feel like I'm like flexing a little bit.
Yeah,
Like I'm
no.
like, okay, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little harder. It's like motivating to watch other
Yeah.
people and then push yourself.
I know what you're saying. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I work out at this gym that we're currently at. It's a
Uh-huh.
little bit more of a private gym.
Yeah.
Right. I think it depends on who's in here. If Rob, owner of the gym, the training spot, shout out, if he's training his clients and a little bit older and I'm like doing a handstand, I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna start like a conversation about it. Like I'm not a gymnast. Like I'm just doing a handstand. I'm like,
What are you training for?
yeah, like, yeah,
Nothing.
I get that. I get that all the time. Like, what
I'm
are
sure
you
you do.
training for? And I'm just like,
Yeah, muscle ups and handstands will do that.
so, but if I'm at, I don't even know where they would have it, like a CrossFit S gym where they'd have rings and shit, then I'd be like, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Fucking go.
Let's go hard.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's not like I'm trying to impress anyone, but I'm like, I don't know.
It's
Just
something about the
more
ambiance
motivating.
and the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
vibe at different gyms.
Yeah. But, there are members that come to this gym
Mhm.
and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
there's like some big bros here. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna do some handstands, I'm gonna do some pull-ups. I'm like, how many pull-ups can you do, bro? And it's like good pull-ups.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't lie. It is kind of tempting to load up the bar sometimes at a public
Yeah.
gym and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the
or
full
squatting
range of
heavy.
motion squat that I
Yeah.
have.
Like full step. Take notes. Take notes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I get that.
Not the leg press, the squat.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But most people, I would say, don't love working out
Yeah.
at those evening hours because it is the busiest time of day.
that's true. I
So
think
I think it's a con. But
yeah. I think most people try to avoid people. Like tend to not want to.
Yeah.
Especially, I notice this with a lot of women. They don't really want
Right.
people looking at them. And I get that.
Yeah.
It's hard. They're self-conscious. It's
Mhm.
probably what sparked them to start working out.
Mhm.
But hopefully we can get them past that. But
Mm.
yeah, I think, I don't know.
I would feel like anyone who doesn't feel like they're the, fitness marketing person, right? So let's
Right.
say you have a little additional body fat than what is
Yeah.
in the marketing materials at your gym, or maybe you're a non-binary person,
Yeah.
or what if you don't see yourself in the space? I think it's a lot less comfortable when there's a ton of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get that.
Yeah.
I really do.
So I think that's
think
a
it's
con of evening
Yeah.
is
Well,
busy gyms.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay, cool.
I think working in a busy gym, I think it was fun. It was
there's a
also
community
annoying if
aspect.
all the equipment was taken.
Yeah.
But that was the annoying part.
Yeah.
But when you're like working in a busy gym, I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
I
I agree.
don't know.
There's a community aspect that is really nice about going
Yeah.
to the gym.
And then you see all the other trainers with their clients and
Mhm.
the gym is just packed and I don't know. I think it could be really
Yeah.
fun. It just depends on your personality too. Are you an introvert? You probably won't like it. If you're an
Mhm.
extrovert, you might like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know.
All right. More cons.
Yeah.
To evening
lots of
workout.
cons.
Fatigue. Did you already talk about fatigue?
Not really.
This is why I can't work out. at
Yeah.
night. And it's not like physical fatigue.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like decision fatigue. Like it's the
Yeah.
whole like I have used my brain so much today.
Right.
And you'd think that I'd be able to go and just use my body, but no, I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Mental fatigue
I
can
have
cause physical
yeah.
fatigue.
And I have forced myself to do a very late night workout before, and I actually do enjoy it when I do it. But I just
Between 10 and 2 a.m.
maybe.
or 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
That
just like it's not a regular thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to sleep. So then if I have to do it between like 5 and 8, oh
oh God, that is
sound horrible?
8 o'clock is I need to be in bed.
in bed.
That sounds. But I used to train people up until 8 o'clock.
Right.
Sometimes at 8 o'clock.
Right.
Man,
Yeah.
you get old. But another reason why is, who are the people that are canceling on you? Well, as a trainer, the people who work out at night
Yeah.
because they've got their kids shit, sports shit, maybe
Social things.
social thing,
Yeah.
or work.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. So like we're talking about with morning workouts, you're not really going to be bothered at 6 a.m.
It's true.
But you will be bothered when you're already at work to stay later or pick this up or finish this thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to say no to your boss.
Yeah. Potential
Like-
disruptions is probably one of the biggest cons of
Yeah.
evening workouts.
Yeah. Yeah. and sleep disruptions too.
Yeah. That was
You,
what I was
it's
gonna say.
your, if your core temperature is still really high
Yeah.
after a workout, your body needs to cool down to go to sleep.
Mhm.
So while it can come down, but if you want to make sure that you have at least a couple hours between your workout and bedtime.
Yeah.
Because you probably will find that you're wired. I mean, who doesn't come out of a workout at least a little bit more energized than when they
Right.
came in?
Exactly.
So that's the big thing.
Mhm.
You might even get like a spark of focus after your workout.
Right.
So maybe you need to finish more work and now you're up on the computer and then it kind of just bleeds into you not getting enough sleep.
Oops, at me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. So don't work out. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the 5 to 8 p.m. sounds horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does, but a lot of
midnight
people
workouts
do it.
sound
Yeah.
better to you?
Yes.
Like you'd rather work out at midnight
Yes.
than 7 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I hope I'm sleeping, but like if I'm not, yeah, I would.
Yeah, because I guess you could say, well, this is the next day, so now it's a morning workout. Right? Yeah.
Totally.
I don't think
Totally.
we didn't plan on talking about middle of the night workouts, but I don't think most people are doing that unless you're a
I actually tattoo artist. I don't. He doesn't work out in the middle of the night, but Brad told me that he works out. I think they work out like 10 p.m.
okay, Brad. Like,
But he's a tattoo artist, so
Yeah.
his work
Oh,
day starts
cool.
at like noon, right?
Yeah,
11 a.m. or noon. So, and he's a night owl. So,
yeah, he's a night
Yep.
owl.
so that's going back to your
Yeah.
chronotype, right?
Yep,
That is the thing. That is
exactly.
important. Are you a morning person or are you a night person? Because you also need, I think, before you even consider, should I work out in the morning or should I work out in the evening? What does your sleep look like?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you have to maximize recovery,
Mhm.
and so you have to maximize sleep.
Yes.
And so like for me, if I had to wake up 1 hour earlier in order to work out and do a morning workout, that would hurt my sleep.
Right.
And I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Nope.
And that's fair.
Not doing it.
That's another consideration.
Yeah, exactly.
So you almost have to backtrack.
Yeah.
Where
Reverse engineer it.
Yes, reverse engineer it. And you obviously this works best if you're retired and if you don't have to work. So
Mhm.
we get that. Like scheduling conflicts are going to come into play. But, maybe if you have a 9 to 5 job, you usually have a lunch break. So maybe you could work out on your lunch break too, because maybe you are that person. Maybe you don't really find that you can fall asleep until at least 10 p.m.
Mhm.
and you don't really want to work up or wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. to work out. Maybe you could use that extra hour of sleep to feel better. An hour of sleep is a lot.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So maybe, because maybe most people are midday worker outers. Maybe you sleep in, do a lunch workout if you're not an evening workout person. So it is important. You have to
Yeah.
figure that out.
Yeah. So that's speaking to our me crowd, our 10 to 2
Yes.
crowd.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
my favorite time to work out is 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, by far, best time of day. I try to do that most of the time
Yeah.
if I can.
Yeah.
But I understand that a lot of people, that's really hard because you work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So then, you extend it to lunch, but then like, it's like, okay, when do I eat? So there
Yeah.
is a whole
But-
thing there too. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, really, there isn't a good answer to this, right? There's various studies that have shown various benefits of morning versus night versus
Yeah.
lunch, but we're splitting hairs when it comes to like physiological effects.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just, pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day. Like when do you feel best?
Yeah.
Physically and mentally, but physically for your workout, when do you feel best?
Mhm.
And you can maybe plan it for around that.
Yep.
But I think after COVID, I think people started to have more flexible schedules because I do train a lot of in-person people, and maybe it's just the location that we're at right now, maybe, with their types of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But I do train a lot of working people who can meet me at 11 a.m. sometimes,
Yeah,
or noon,
same
or 1,
actually,
or,
yeah.
So I think that helps. But
I think, the rise of remote work has
Yeah.
helped with this a lot.
yeah, the remote ones.
I also think with COVID, maybe people got a little more intuitive with their bodies
Yeah.
because they were able to, sleep more and like understand more about when they actually feel better working out versus what society tells them what time they have to work out.
Right.
Right? Because we are beholden to the schedules that society gives
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Before work, after work, lunchtime,
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But something like a pandemic hits and
Yeah.
you don't go to work and then you
Yeah.
like have to plan your day according to like more about how you feel. You get more
Right.
intuitive about that.
Yeah. And I do feel like society has pushed like wake up early and work out. Like that's the best.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I
mean,
still
it's not.
see
Yeah.
still see like really successful entrepreneurs always posting like 5 a.m.
Morning
You
work
gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and you gotta do a cold plunge and you gotta meditate.
Yeah, you gotta do it the cold plunge first, or else you'll all your muscle will
Yeah.
fall right off.
Yeah. And then you have to have your matcha and whatever. But I just think like, no. Like if someone
Yeah.
were to, if I were to wake up every day at 5 a.m., my sleep would be fucked. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not going to
That's
bed before 11.
Right, and that's probably when your REM sleep
Yeah.
or deep, I don't remember which one happens towards the end of your sleep. Whichever one, REM or deep, is
Full
full.
waves. I can't remember. But
Yeah,
yeah.
those in waves, whatever. But yeah, I think, it's kind of correlates with, you see people writing books on morning routines and
Mhm.
yeah, but what about your nighttime routine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a workout is part
Yeah.
of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
and this just goes back to like everyone's different, right? And the answer, it depends. And if you ever see like an influencer or someone telling you to do literally anything one way
Yeah,
without first like considering that you are a human and you have different
Yeah.
needs than other humans,
follow us instead.
run away. Yeah,
Follow
run away
us
from
instead.
these people.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to know.
There's a balance between providing guidance and like this works for me or this works for
Yeah.
the majority of my clients. Obviously, there's something there if it's working for a lot of people.
Right.
But also always take everything with a grain of salt because you are you. Your job is different. Your life is different. Your needs are different.
Yeah, which is why we're telling our own personal anecdotes with what works better for
Yeah.
us personally.
Yeah.
But by no means are we telling you to do that.
Yeah.
We're just telling you our experience. So you have to figure this out for yourself. You're a grown-ass adult.
You're a grown-ass adult.
You're a grown-ass adult.
Katie line.
Yes, pay attention. Pay attention to when you want to do it and then figure it out from there. And hopefully, the more advanced you get in your career, the better you can set up your schedule too.
Yes, totally.
But
I do think when we say want to do it though, there's a discipline aspect here too, right? Like,
yeah, you're right.
so you do have to balance like when you feel like working out and when you don't. Like people think that we always just feel like working out. That's bullshit. Like
Oh my God.
trainers are some of the people that honestly I think we have to push ourselves the hardest because we've been sitting in a gym all day at a lot of
We've been working out all day. Well, not working out.
We've been
but-
helping other people work out.
Yeah.
So then like for us to work out,
Yeah.
like that's probably another reason you like to work out in the morning because you're like, I'm going to take care of myself
Yeah.
first and then I'm going to take care of my
Exactly.
clients.
Because
Yeah.
then I feel better able to take care of my clients.
Yeah,
When I
yeah,
work out
yeah.
first. Because now I'm not like,
Yep.
well, I gotta like get some energy for my workout after this client or whatever.
Yeah. So even
yeah.
we have had to develop discipline.
Yes.
And so it is this balance between, what feels right in your body and with your schedule and all these things.
Yeah.
But also at the end of the day, you just have to get it done.
Yes.
So what time is that going to work for you?
Yes. And that can change too. Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
this, because here's the thing. That's my preference. I am definitely going to work out first thing in the morning whenever I can, which is most days. But like traveling.
Oh yeah.
maybe-
I'm all over the place traveling, but I get it done.
Yeah. And then, sometimes like, I went on a trip for my cousin's wedding and I remember coming back and obviously there was no gym around and I worked out like 4 p.m. when I got back, but I
Yeah.
just did it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get this shit done. I do not want to do this, but I did it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't horrible, but it was.
You survive.
It wasn't I survived. That's the discipline aspect. And I think
Yeah.
people really need to figure that out
Yep.
first.
Yep.
And maybe it's all over the place. Maybe one day you work out in the morning, maybe one day you work out at night. Who cares?
Yeah.
As long as you're being consistent and your workout
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
Workouts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
okay. So figure your shit out. You're going as adult, but it doesn't matter. It depends. That is the moral of the story here.
Yeah.
So yes. Anything else?
No, I'd love to hear from folks if you're
Yeah.
in the Facebook group, Stronger Than Your Boyfriend, or on our Instagram or wherever. Like, what time do you prefer to work out?
Yeah.
What have you found? Is it different post-pandemic than it was before?
yeah,
I'm,
that's a
I'm really curious to hear
Yeah.
like if people's routines have changed and how. Is it better? Is it
Yeah.
worse? Like, what does it look like?
And if you have to work out at a specific time, but you know what your ideal workout time is, how do you get yourself to do it?
Yeah.
And what keeps you motivated? What keeps you disciplined, etc.? Or are you just a very disciplined person? I don't know. That'd be a fun discussion.
Are you just a grown-ass adult?
Are you this adult and you're adulting and you're disciplining? That's a good practice.
Gold star.
Yeah, gold star for you. Okay. Yes. Join our Facebook group and follow us everywhere. And peace out.